Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. It's the blackest hearted, blackest minded, blackest man on social media signing black in and shining again, asking you to hit that share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So here we go. Part 3 of how to respond to Just Choose Better. I'm going to start by mentioning that O'Shea Duke Jackson brought to my attention that Kenya Moore is taking her husband back because he was going to go for that alimony. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I know from one of my college buddies, she's a flirt. She's like others. She just wants attention. She's been going after validation for so long that she ain't even married anybody. I mean, as we know, got married, a little while ago? She was in her 40s at that point. So she's hungry for validation from men. And that says a lot right there, because in all honesty, that's a lot of ladies. So you take a lady like her that's nice to look at, ages well, and talented. And she was, she's been on the scene for a while, but chases validation. Hell, you got a recipe for this type of stuff. But she had to so-called marry down. And I'm going to tell you, man, if a woman does marry down to marry you, don't necessarily be abusive about it or anything of that nature, but just understand that that's what had to happen. But anyway, moving on. I just want to say that that's one thing I know about her, and that makes her actually very typical. Despite her beauty and talent, that makes her very typical. So, now that we got that out the way, listen, for part 3 of how to respond to this, just choose better. One thing you got to say is this. Always bring this up. And especially if it's a lady that's saying this. Ask her, listen, what game do you have for men? Now, they have games they play, but you're asking her outright to say what would she say to a man to get his attention. All of a sudden, she may say, I don't have to. And if she says, I don't have to, you say, my point exactly. You don't have to. We have not demanded that you be a better choice than what you're saying that I should have chose better than. So, nobody's going to make you be any better. And if one man alone decides to demand that, you're not going to deliver that, because you don't have to, right? So what do you mean choose better? Our mistake was allowing pretty much all of you to not be any better. So on an individual level, we have to pay for this. There is no better option. Sorry. I mean, they may exist, but of course they're bound to be taken. And then, if it's one of these old nigga fools, you say, well, what game has a woman ever spat to you that changed your mind about her? What? Yeah. You're like, if you're not interested in, she is, what game has she ever spat to change your mind? He's not going to have an answer. And you say, see, exactly. You don't require them to know and be and do and have what they require you to know and be and do and have. So there's no incentive for them to be any better. So what the hell do you mean choose better? If anyone that's any better is already taken and been taken for a long time, what you mean choose better? There's no better out there to choose. Besides, what if you taught your daughter about men? Or what would you teach your daughter or niece or younger sister about men? Are you teaching them to be better or to just look for better men? Because if all you're teaching them to do is always look for better men but not to be better, then why the hell would any of them be any better? And how dare you sit here and tell me to choose exactly that which you have participated in removing all incentive for any of them to be? Nigga. Now, when you say this to them, that's the end of it. I mean, of course they're going to have some kind of comeback, but they're not going to have anything that's really wise and substantial. Again, the only reason that this is even important to begin with is because of the young bloods that are going to be hearing this. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be worth discussion. Choose better. Well, yes, as long as there is that option. But we're going to have to accept the fact and explain, too, that it never existed and it was never going to. Better. Except in quantity so rare that every last one of them was guaranteed to be taken long before any of us would have come across them, and probably we would never meet them. But that's not your fault, and don't ever let anybody come along and tell you to take blame for that, young blood. It ain't your fault. It wasn't there to begin with. It just wasn't. Thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind. Blackout, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual non-select male power, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.